Hi. Thanks for being here. Here. Right now. This present moment. This is it. This is it. So recently, when I went to the night before I went out to California to go visit my older brother and sister-in-law and be with my niece and my new niece that was just born. So exciting, and get to be there and give some postnatal care and support to them, and get to fulfill that really sacred auntie archetype. The night before I left to go out to visit them, I had gone to try and get my car's oil changed, and it didn't work out. And there was like this weird liminal space moment where I was like, I just need to like park the car and see what's coming through. And really weirdly, it was like, check to see what movies are playing. And I was like, really? Okay. So I checked to see what movies were playing, and so odd, like at the Lake Worth movie theater, which is not a big movie theater here in Fort Worth, Gone with the Wind was playing, the 85th random, right? Like 85th anniversary, 2 nights only, and one of the nights was that night. And Gone with the Wind has always been a really seminal movie for me. I've always deeply related with Scarlett, unfortunately, for some of you who know the story, and kind of know, like, you know that Melanie is the character who represents love, and Scarlett is essentially the character who represents the ego. And yet, is there some kind of integration we could find? I actually really, truly consider those characters archetypally often in my life. So if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, you know, there are certainly some cultural, political, social issues with it, with the way that it depicts slavery. So, you know, that maybe is a something that needs to be said. And the archetypes to me of Scarlett and Melanie are pretty classic depictions of love versus fear. And it reminds me of a quote right now that I have as a bookmark in my Course in Miracles, which is, I actually heard at a Catholic class that I went to with my dad, who's been seeking to join the Catholic Church, fascinatingly enough. But this quote was said in a class that I went to with him, and it was, pride seeks to be served, whereas love seeks to serve, which sounds a lot again like ego versus love or divine self, and like Scarlett seeks to be served where Melanie seeks to serve. However, Scarlett does serve a lot, although begrudgingly, which also makes sense because in the end, beneath the ego, we are all love. We are all these innocent, we are all the perfect, innocent connectedness of a whole. And so we can't help but be good and perfect and serve each other because we are each other, and the whole is present in and completely depends on every single one of its parts. Okay, all of that being said, so for those of you who know the story, just quick other part that was very poignant to me from Gone with the Wind. So the whole, a big theme in it is that all along, like, everyone loves Scarlett, okay? Everyone's in love with Scarlett, and she marries multiple people, but the whole time she's in love with Ashley, and she's only in love with Ashley. Ashley is a male. And Ashley is, of course, married to Melanie. And Melanie only ever thinks the best of Scarlett, like, from the depth of her heart, because she's that good. She also, it's like, Melanie gets it. She is love, so she only sees what's true. Like, it's not that she doesn't see what's true about Scarlett and how conniving she is and how she's always trying to steal Ashley. It's that Melanie like love, like A Course in Miracles would tell us to do, only sees the truth of Scarlet, which is the good in her, not any of this other bullshit. But anyway, so everyone wants Scarlet. Scarlet only wants the one person that doesn't want her. And she eventually, Rhett Butler, who is played by Clark Gable in the movie, and Scarlet is played by Vivien Leigh, who I love. And actually, Vivien Leigh, that was the movie she was discovered in, and I'm pretty sure she got Best Actress, which is crazy. But anyway, so Rhett Butler comes along, and he really sees Scarlet for who she is from the beginning, because he's like, you and me, we're alike. Like, we're out to take care of ourselves. And although, you know, in this, like, Rhett Butler also has a really good heart and like all this stuff, but he basically sees Scarlet for who she really is from the beginning, and loves her. And he thinks it's really funny that she's in love with Ashley, because Scarlet and Ashley are completely incompatible. They just aren't gonna be good partners, basically, and that's really obvious. But like, Scarlet will not fucking let go of her love for Ashley, and she doesn't let love in from anyone else, or really just like her life as the way it is, because she just needs this one person who doesn't love her out of everyone else who's obsessed with her to love her. Like, that, the only one she wants is the one who doesn't want her. The only one she wants is the one she doesn't have. And, you know, I was thinking about this in the terms of like, it can be fairly obvious in my life, but still, you know, of like, okay, everything's a metaphor, everything's meaningful. What does this mean for me? Like, who is the Ashley in my life? I might have some idea, like, but I was thinking of it quite literally in a love kind of way of like, oh, okay, so there's this one person who doesn't love me back that I think that I'm like, you know, this is the person that I think I'm in love with or end up with. And meanwhile, maybe there are all of these other possibilities that I'm totally blind to, or not open to, or not accepting, because I just want the one person who it feels like doesn't want me, and who also, if it's along with the storyline, may be completely incompatible with me, actually, and would be much more compatible with someone like a Melanie, as much as I strive to be Melanie. But just now, and the reason I wanted to record this video was because I was just out here, like, with the trees. I'm about to head back to Wyoming, so I was kind of just being with the trees, and here in Texas, and like just being in this moment, just being where I am. And this is a little dangerous potentially, but I'm gonna do it anyway. A little danger never scared me. Isn't this cool though? Like, I'm so with Oak. Oak is with me as I talk about this. Like, this is what I'm saying though. Actually, Oak is a perfect example, because the point is, it's not, I can make it literally about a lover and a partner and all of that, and it's a love story, but it's a love story with everything. And the point is actually, it's about wherever we are and however our life is. Like, I'm so busy missing Wyoming and the pine trees that I can't see that right now Oak is right here offering me love, right? Or I'm so busy thinking my life has to be this certain way, and then I have to have accomplished these certain things, or that it has to have this kind of format right now of, like, you know, say having a life partner and children and a published book, hosting gatherings of people to commune with the land and horses, like all these things, a more rooted kind of place. I'm so busy wanting this thing that may or may not happen and may be compatible at different times in my life, but or will just look the way that it looks for me, that's compatible with me. But it's like, I'm so busy thinking that I want this certain thing that's eluding me, or seemingly eluding me, that I'm not noticing all of the love that's here right now. And that's what happens at the very end of Gone with the Wind, okay? Scarlett realizes, after literally like 20 years of pining after Ashley and all of these dramatic things of like keeping him in her life and just not getting over him and refusing to be open to the love that's there, especially from Rhett Butler, holding out for Ashley, who is not compatible with her. You know what? But in the case of this story, who's just not what is when it comes to a romantic partner for her. And in the very end, she realizes that she never loved Ashley and Ashley never loved her. And she loves Rhett and has loved him for years and not been open to that and not like given into that and been there with that. And, you know, that's the most famous scene in Gone with the Wind, when she finally goes back to Rhett and is vulnerable and open and loving for like the first time in their marriage and says, but like, what am I, because he's leaving her then, and she's like, but what am I gonna do? Like, I love you, I want to be with you now, like, you have to listen to me, and what am I gonna do? And he says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. And then you don't know what's gonna happen. It's open-ended. We all hope that Scarlett and Rhett do get back together, but my point is, Rhett Butler, the love trying to come to me that is perfectly compatible and exactly me and exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I want and exactly what would be a good partner for me or lover for me, is every moment that's happening in my life. And some really beautiful birds just flew over in that moment. And Ashley, that elusive thing, is whatever I think that I need that I don't have, because it's seemingly not here right now, that I think I need to be happy, that actually clearly isn't compatible or exactly what I need right now or have or am, because it's not what is here offering love. And every moment, every person, every relationship, every tree is offering love. And when I'm caught up in thinking I'll be happy when my life is another way, or when I'm with someone else, or when I am somewhere else, I missed that, oh my gosh, I was in love with the person who was with me and fucking loved me all along. I was in love with everywhere I was and exactly how my life was and exactly who I was with. You know, the Rhett Butler I've been looking for was there all along. I just couldn't see, because I was pining after Ashley, aka pining after whatever seemed to be that one thing I couldn't have or that didn't want me. Meanwhile, everything I was looking for was already there. I just couldn't see it because I was distracted by thinking that it wasn't enough and that I needed something that wasn't even actually good for me, and in the end wasn't what I wanted at all. So that's my Gone with the Wind revelation. I got really excited about it for myself in these moments. Seriously, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not about a literal romantic relationship, although it could be. It's about every moment. Like, my life is Rhett Butler offering his love to me. I mean, look at this. How can I say I don't have anyone to kiss?